What's up, my peeps? It's Cynthia, aka CFlow, and welcome to my channel, CFlow's Reality TV Talk. On this channel, I review some of my favorite reality shows as well as give my opinion, a little recap. So please subscribe to my little channel, hit that notification bell, like the video, share with your friends. Let's share the love, and I would greatly appreciate it. So today we are going to talk about the ladies of Married to Medicine. They are back. It is season 9, episode 1, called Bless This Mess. And it was a mess, a cow mess. All right. So we start off with Jackie and Simone. They're in a vehicle driving to Jackie's house. And they basically kind of go over their friendship and how it looks like they mend their friendships, how both of them had to make some adjustments. Some Dr. Simone mentioned that she needed to get rid of her pettiness, right? And Dr. Jackie and Simone said Dr. Jackie had to get her ego out of the way. So looks like they are doing fine. They show up to, I believe, Jackie's house, Dr. Jackie's house, where Cecil and oh my God, how come I don't remember Dr. Jackie's husband? Oh, Curtis. How do I forget her? Curtis, cheating Curtis. So they see those two gentlemen out looking at Curtis's car. It's a Gran Turismo, I believe is what it was called, in 1962. Anywho, so they kind of talk about the car, and Dr. Jackie said, I thought you sold the car, and they just went on, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It was kind of uneventful. Then we switched to Jackie and Simone in the house eating. And Dr. Jackie tells Simone about something called pea shots, which are supposed to liven the JJ. I think I can say that for females. And then she also talked about pea shots, which is supposed to strengthen and lengthen the peen. The way that Dr. Jackie was talking about these O shots made me think that she tested it out. You know, hey, more power to her. Let me know where I can get these O shots. I'm just saying. Yeah, so I think that was pretty much it. Nothing really eventful. Then we moved to Dr. Heavenly at her house where she's in the kitchen with Alora. Dr. Heavenly talks about the fact that she opened a beauty supply store, which I think is great. And Alora works there part-time. Side note, Alora is growing up to just be such a beautiful young lady. You know, even Dr. Heavenly has to admit that Alora has more fashion sense than she does, which I thought was cute. Quad shows up, I don't know what's in my eye, but Quad shows up at Dr. Heavenly's house, and she jokes with Alora, who's waiting for her dad to take her out driving, that you know that her first car was a Toyota Corolla, I think she said, and how Alora's first car is a Range Rover. Okay, hey, you know, if you got the money to do that for your cheering, and I did say cheering, then do it. I probably wouldn't, but hey, more power to Dr. Jackie and Dr. Damon. Let's see. Oh yeah, so Quad kind of talks to Heavenly and asked about her relationship with Contessa, and Dr. Heavenly talks about how she doesn't understand what the problem is and why Contessa is upset with her, which production, who I love production, they switched to Contessa in a confessional talking about how Dr. Heavenly talks crap about Contessa and her husband on Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel. Now, I'm not, I don't really watch Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel. I've maybe watched a couple episodes. No offense, but her voice just, I can't take her voice. But I do recall her talking mess about Contessa and her husband. And so, you know, for me, I don't understand why Dr. Heavenly doesn't understand that people will get PO'd at you if you're talking smack about them on social media, things that Contessa feels like she knows isn't true. And maybe no one's ever pointed that out to Dr. Heavenly. I don't know, but I do believe somebody needs to talk to her about that because that is not cool. We move on to Contessa. I love Contessa. I think she's very pretty. And she's working out with a personal trainer because she is training for a fitness competition. One of the things I love about Dr. Contessa is that she always finds ways to, I guess, better herself. She's very ambitious. She's always looking for ways to improve and increase her knowledge. And I'm all for that. I'm similar in that manner as well. So I appreciate her drive and her tenacity and always trying to do different things and achieve different goals. It's really cool. But hey, that's how I feel. Let's see. She says that she's a new Contessa this year, that she was filed for divorce. She was getting ready to sell the home. She was working with a realtor, and Scott decided that he didn't want their marriage to break up, and he agreed to go to counseling. So apparently the counseling seems to be working for them. They both agree that it seems to be working for them. We move on to Quad in her new 14,000 square foot home, which I'm like, do you really need that much home? But if you got the coins to do it and the maintenance that goes with it, more power to you, because people always talk about, oh yeah, I paid cash for the house, but they don't talk about the maintenance. I'm talking landscaping. I'm sure she got did they show a pool? I think they showed a pool. I mean, the maintenance on these big houses is really the thing, the monthly maintenance. But anyway, I digress. So apparently her nephew Mason lives with her now and her mom, because unfortunately Quad's brother passed away last year due to heart complications. And that is just like the saddest thing I've ever heard. I mean, it's just sad. I've had to deal with death in the family, so I know how it is, and my heart goes out to them. Let's see, Quad decided, she says, that she needed to get a bigger home to accommodate the new folks living in her house, which I'm still like, 14,000 square foot though? Like, really? It's just you, your nephew Mason, and your mom. Y'all need 6 bathrooms? I think it said six or 9 bathrooms, something crazy like that. But hey, again, if you got the coinage, go for it. Let's see. The other thing was, apparently Mason is doing well in school, except he has been having issues focusing, per the teachers. And Quad asked him why, and he said because he's been thinking about his dad. Now let me tell you, that took me out. I had tears coming down, just sad. And Quad was crying, and her mom was crying, but Quad was saying, yeah, we all miss your dad, we're all sticking together, but we still need to get things done. So basically she's saying you still need to focus on school, and yes, we know you miss your dad, and it's okay to miss your dad, but you still need to focus on your schoolwork. But that took me out, y'all. I don't know about you. Comment down below if it took you out as well. Then we move on to Anila and Kieran. I think that's how you say his name, Kieran. They talk about that they finally moved into their house after 3 years, that the budget was 1.2 million and 1.5 million. They ended up spending 2.5 million, which is like, okay. They're getting their home blessed with the traditional ceremony. A lot of people get their new homes blessed. I know I did, and I know I will when I move. And so you hear the priest talking or saying the different prayers, and the producers ask Anila in the confessional, what are these prayers? And girlfriend said, why are you asking me these questions? I don't know. I'm American. Now I know good and goddamn well that her mom is probably disappointed that she doesn't remember or cares to remember like her culture and what these prayers actually mean and say. So I'll let her deal with her mama about that. I'm assuming that her mama gonna get on her about that. And then the blessing included a cow. So they brought the cow into the house and the cow pooed in the house. Now, I have some friends who are Indian, and I actually asked them, I was like, do y'all bring cows in the house? I mean, I understand the reasoning behind the cow and in the Hindi, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, religion, but do you really bring the cow in the house? And at least a few people I spoke to said no, usually you bring a cow, the cow's outside of the house or in the front of the house, but you don't bring it inside the house. So I'm sure this was just for reality TV. Next, we move on to Toya, who, as we all know, they sold that house that was her dream house, right? They're in a rental right now, but they bought a plot of land and they're getting a new dream house built because, according to Toya, which I think is ridiculous, her dream home was not big enough for two boys and them two. Like, seriously, girl? Seriously? So this new home, I think she said it's going to be, no, she didn't say it was going to be 14,000 square feet. I'm getting confused with Anila because her home and Quad's home is 14,000 square feet. Yeah, so that tripped me out when she said that the house was, oh yeah, and the old house didn't have a tennis court and all this other BS, just BS. Eugene shows up. She tells Eugene that Anila came to the house, or rather, Anila was in the car, and Anila's son came to the house to invite them to their housewarming / Diwali party. And so she says that she and Anila are cordial. They get along for the most part, but they're not as close as they used to be. And then we move on to Anila's housewarming / Diwali party. Heavenly brings another couple with her and Damon. Dr. Heavenly sees, I think Quad brought it to her attention, but there's some woman talking to Dr. Damon, and of course, Dr. Heavenly having a problem, having a cow about why is this woman all in his face talking to him, which I think is ridiculous. Dr. Damon ain't going nowhere, child. Kieran is not happy because the DJ introduces the family and says Mr. and Mrs. I think it's Sajay is their last name, instead of saying Dr. and Mrs. So he was unhappy about that, which I can understand that you spend all that money trying to go to medical school and they disrespect you without your title. I guess you have a right to be pissed off. Contestant Scott arrives, and Anila shades Contessa's outfit, which I was looking at it like, hey, what is this, a costume contest or a costume party? To which Anila was like, she bought this from Party City, that she did not understand the assignment. But hey, Contessa got a nice body, so if she want to wear something like that, go ahead, go for it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then Toya and Eugene show up in a golf cart because they live in the same subdivision or estate area that Anila and her husband's new home was built. Anila gives a quick tour of the house to the ladies, and she lets the ladies know that she got the house furnished, $500,000 worth of furniture for free is how she got the house furnished, through blogging. So I guess she worked out some brand deals or something. I mean, if that's how it works, I need to become a full-time blogger. If that's how it works, you get $500,000 worth of furniture for a house. Then they show the guys chatting, trying to catching up with one another and discussing how, after the pandemic, they're very busy. So, they're booked and busy, doing their doctoring thing. Then they ask Scott about his situation with Contessa. The producers flash back to the reunion and how Scott and Contessa was having some issues, and how Quad said that Contessa has filed for divorce. That was last year for the reunion. But Scott mentions that, they're going to counseling and everything seems to be okay now. So that's a good thing. I think they mentioned earlier that they learn how to disagree or argue amicably, basically. They didn't say it verbatim that way, but that's pretty much what I saw. Let's see. Oh, Contessa sees Quad and they start talking. Quad's like, have you talked to Dr. Heavenly? And, did you want to talk to her? And Quad's like, no, I don't want to talk to her. Quad tries to bring Dr. Heavenly over, and Contessa's like, no, I don't want to talk right now. So they show Quad in confessional, and she basically says she understands where Contessa is coming from because Dr. Heavenly has it lives in like two worlds. So she feels like that she can talk crap about her friends online, and then the other world is her friends are okay with it, which is not okay. But my thing is, are y'all talking to her about that? I mean, like, are y'all letting her know that shit isn't cool? Like, seriously. But the one thing when Quad was talking about, no, Dr. Heavenly, those worlds, you don't have two worlds, they collide. I was like, the drama of it all. Okay, girl, this ain't no Tyler Perry overacting show. Okay. That was just too dramatic for me. And then lastly, the way that it ended was Anila, who says she's been dancing since she was 2 years old, girl. You would think she had a degree in dancing. Did some kind of celebration dance, which was, yeah. As somebody puts it, Simone said, that girl ain't got no rhythm. I've watched Bollywood movies. She ain't got it. She ain't got it, y'all. But anyway, it was a pretty good episode. I'm glad to see the ladies back. So you let me know what you thought about the episode. Please leave a comment below. Please remember to like my videos. I'm starting this little channel. Help us out. Subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, peace.